Once upon a time, in a small cozy house nestled deep in the woods, there lived a mother goat and her 7 little whippersnapper kids. Now, these kids weren't exactly the brightest bulbs in the barn, always causing trouble, bouncing off walls, chewing on things they shouldn't, and quite frankly, they didn't know much about the world outside their little cottage. One day Mother Goat had to run errands, leaving the 7 little brats alone for the afternoon. She bent down, looked them each in the eye, and warned, "Do not open the door for anyone, especially the wolf. He's been hanging around the neighborhood, and I don't trust that slick talker. He'll try to trick you." The kids nodded and bleated, like they understood. But let's be real, they were probably just thinking about the next patch of grass they could eat. Mother Goat rolled her eyes and headed off, leaving the door securely bolted behind her. Now, not too far away, the wolf was watching this whole scene from behind a tree, adjusting his cheap, synthetic sheep costume. He had been in the devouring business for years now, and frankly, it wasn't exactly what he'd call fulfilling work, but hey, someone had to put food on the table. He sighed, running through the script in his head for the millionth time. "All right, let's see," he muttered to himself, pulling out a wrinkled copy of The 7 Goats and the Wolf from his back pocket. "Show up, knock on the door, pretend to be their mum, eat the kids, yada yada. Why do I keep doing this to myself?" He approached the cottage door with a professional air, straightening his fluffy sheep disguise. The thing was itchy, and it stank of cheap fabric softener. He hated this part. He knocked lightly, and from inside came a chorus of high-pitched bleats. "Who is it?" one of the kids shouted, not even trying to sound suspicious. The wolf groaned inwardly, already feeling his blood pressure rise. "These goats are just like the customers back when I worked in retail. Clueless, entitled, and too loud." But he forced himself to stick to the script. "It's me, darlings," he said in a high-pitched, completely unconvincing voice. "Your dear Mother Goat." The kids, being the whippersnappers they were, immediately perked up. But one of them, perhaps the least dense of the group, said, "Hey, wait a minute, you don't sound like Mum. Mum doesn't sound all scratchy." The wolf gritted his teeth. "Oh, I've got hay fever," he blurted out, trying to stay professional. "You know, pollen season now, open up." The kids weren't buying it. "Let's see your paw through the door," shouted another. "Mom has white, soft paws." "Great," thought the wolf. "Now I got to do this whole white paw routine." He fumbled around in his costume and pulled out a sack of flour, dumping it on his paws. "See," he said, sticking his flour-covered paw through the crack. "White paws, just like your mum's." There was a pause, and he could hear the goats whispering amongst themselves. "I don't know. Looks kind of flaky. Should we let her in?" The wolf sighed heavily, rolling his eyes. "Yes, you should. Open up already. I've got a quota to meet." Finally, with a creak, the door opened, and the 7 little goats stood there, staring up at him. The wolf could barely contain his irritation as they sized him up, their clueless little faces looking so punchable, but he reminded himself, this is the job. Don't take it personally. And so, with the speed of someone who'd done this 1,000 times, the wolf pounced, swallowing up 6 of the goats in quick succession. They were more of an annoyance than a challenge, really. He didn't even enjoy it. It was just another day at the office, but the last kid, the 7th one, managed to scamper away and hide in the clock as per the usual routine. The wolf, too tired to care, plopped down in a chair, his stomach bulging, and wiped his brow. He could hear the ticking of the clock where the kid was hiding, but honestly he wasn't about to go chasing after one little goat. He'd already done his job, sort of, close enough. Then, after a few moments of uncomfortable silence, the wolf leaned back and stared at the ceiling. "You know," he muttered aloud, "I used to think this line of work would be exciting. When I started out, I was this lean, hungry predator. I thought I'd be like the James Bond of woodland carnivores, but this—" he patted his overstuffed stomach, "this is just pathetic." The kid, still hiding in the clock, whispered, Are you okay, Mr. Wolf?" "No, kid, I'm not," the wolf grumbled, standing up and heading for the door. "I'm tired of this crap. You goats are the worst. You're just like the whiny customers I had to deal with back when I worked at a department store, always questioning everything, making my life harder than it has to be." He paused at the door and looked back at the clock, where the last goat trembled inside. "I used to care about being the best wolf in the business, but now I just hate this stupid job." And with that, the wolf waddled off into the forest, stomach full and morale low, leaving the last goat to be found later by a very annoyed mother goat who had absolutely no idea how much of a toll the retail industry had taken on her mortal enemy, the end